13 things to avoid if you want to become rich and successful. A whole lot of people, they struggle financially and they think to themselves, oh, I can never be rich because I don't have money, because I don't have enough capital, because I don't have the right idea, or because I'm not in the right industry, or because I don't have the right connections. But the truth of the matter is that in my experience, that's not what is holding people back. It's only one thing that's holding people back, and that thing is ego. Yes, that's right. Ego. Oh, you might be thinking to yourself, I don't have any ego. I'm only struggling financially. I don't have money. That's not true. You know what? Ego comes in different disguises. A couple of years back, I had so many of this ego that was actually holding me back. And today, I'm going to share 13 of them. Comment below if you can recognize any. But if you feel you don't have any, then that is the problem. Number one, the blame ego. You know what? Lame people always blame people. The blame ego says, you know what? It's not my fault. It's the government's fault. It's my parents' fault. It's the economy. It's a co-worker's fault. That's why I can never become rich. It's my supervisor. He's the one holding me back. That's why I can never become rich. You know what? You see, I come from a very dysfunctional family, so I can never become rich. The blame ego always says it's someone else's fault. You see what? The blame ego always look for somebody to point. But one finger is pointing at somebody, the other three is pointing back at you. Do you always blame people? Do you have this ego? Are you always looking for excuses? Maybe that's what is holding you back. Number two, the know-it-all ego. You see, there's one particular thing in life. Once you start behaving like you know everything, that's the very foundation of failure. You know, when I graduated from university, I felt more like I knew everything. I felt more like I could just walk into successes. I could just walk into riches. I felt, after all, I graduated from the Department of Political Science. I knew everything. There was no need to know anything from anybody. There was no need to read books. I felt like I could just walk into an office and smash it, get a good job and start enjoying life. But you know what? Of everything I did, everything failed because I knew shit. You know shit. The know-it-all ego feels like they know everything. They keep doing one particular thing again and again and expecting a different result. But you know what? That's the very beginning of insanity. The know-it-all ego. Number three, the fearful ego. You see, most of the times what actually holds people back is fear. Fear of failing. Fear of success, fear of making a mistake. Think about it. Have you ever tried to do something and you're thinking to yourself, what if it doesn't happen? What if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if I lose money? What if I cannot figure this out? What if I don't know what to do? What happens? The what if, but what if it does happen? I always want you to remember, fear is just an acronym that stands for false evidence appearing real. They are just made up stories in your head that holds you back. Do you have this fearful ego? Number four, the comfort zone ego. You see, the comfort zone ego says, oh, I feel I'm okay. I feel I'm just happy. I feel I'm comfortable. Life here is just so fine. I don't have to be that ambitious. My family is here. I don't want to move to a new environment. How am I going to cope with a new environment? I don't want to learn a new skill. I feel like what I'm doing is okay. Oh, how am I going to make new friends? You see, that is the problem. Your comfort zone is your income zone. Your income zone is your comfort zone. Any day you start getting complacent, any day you start getting too comfortable, you stop growing. And once you stop growing, you start dying. Do you have this comfort zone ego? What are you going to do about it? Number five, the excuses ego. You see, the principle about life is very simple. It's either you make money or you make excuses. You cannot do the both of them at the same time. An excuse is nothing more than a well planned out lie. That excuses ego says, well, I don't think I can do this thing. I can't do it because I don't have enough time. Maybe I cannot do this particular job because I don't have enough experience. I cannot go into learning a new skill. Maybe I don't know what to do. I don't have the technical know how. I cannot do this particular thing because I don't have enough money. You always say, I don't know. Well, that is the problem. You see, you might have millions of reasons not to do a particular thing, but you know what? You need just one damn good reason that you must do that thing. Number six, the people's pleasing ego. You see, the people's pleasing ego says, well, I just want everybody to be fine. I just want everybody to be okay. Yeah, I understand. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to get anybody upset. I don't want to get anybody angry. Once everybody's fine, then I'm okay. You try to please people too much. You always try to put people ahead of yourself. You see, that's not actually bad, but sometimes in life, you have to pull yourself first. Even when you're flying on an airplane, you have to put on your oxygen mask first before you help someone else. Sometimes in life, you just have to be a little bit selfish to be generous. Comment down below if you understand what I'm saying. There's something I want to ask you. What about putting yourself first? You might be thinking it's a selfless act, but it's actually selfish. That's people's pleasing ego. Number seven, the justification ego. You know what? You justify why you don't do something, and you justify a whole lot why you can't do something. You say to yourself, oh, I am too young, I am too naive, I am an immigrant, I stutter while talking, so I can't stand in front of a crowd. Oh, you know what? I don't have enough experience. Just forget about it. I never wanted it anyway. I am a married person. I have a husband. I have a wife. I'm sacrificing for my kids. Well, that's a lie. Stop using your kids as an excuse. Stop using the fact that you stutter as an excuse. Instead, use them as a motivation. Use them as a fuel to fuel you up, to get up and make things happen, to get up and become successful. That's what you should be doing. Stop justifying. Number eight, the jealous ego. You see, the jealous ego is a success resentment ego. It's a type of ego where you see somebody, you see a friend, you see a family succeeding. Instead of being happy with the person, you have the spirit of resentment. You feel jealous. You have this unhappy spirit in you. Now, that kind of spirit is jealousy. Let's say, for instance, a friend bought a car. Instead of celebrating with a friend, or instead of being happy with that friend, you look for a way to discredit that friend. You say it's not a big deal after all, it's just a car. Maybe somebody gave him the car, or maybe he stole the car. Now that spirit of jealousy. You get why? What if you have it this way? What if you research on how the person made such success so that you too can be successful? Do you have the spirit of jealousy? Do you have this ego? Are you jealous when somebody is succeeding? Maybe that's what is holding you back. Number nine, the fake ego. Are you one of those who have maxed up themselves? Are you one of those who are so fake? Are you one of those who claim to be what they are not? Are you one of those who keep posting pictures, doing things on the internet while in real life you are actually not? Are you one of those who want to appear very rich, or who compares him or herself with another person? So in a bid to keep up with that competition, you put up a fake life. Are you one of them? Then you might be making a grievous mistake that will never make you successful. Everybody is taken, so what's actually the need to try to be like somebody? Is, you know what? I would rather people hate me for who I am rather than love me for the person I am not. Do you have this ego? You don't really need them to be successful. Number 10, the shy ego. You see what? The shy ego always says, well, I'm just a shy person. Well, I'm okay. I'm not good with people. I'm not a talking type. I'm just a quiet person. And you use that as an excuse. You use that as an excuse to stay in your bubble, to continue to stay in your shell. Well, if you want to be successful, if you ever want to be rich, then you need to come out of your skin. You need to come out of your shell and face your tasks. The shy ego will tell you, well, I cannot put up with this presentation because the crowd is too much. I'm a shy person. I cannot stand there. I cannot go in the crowd of people and close this deal. I cannot take up this particular thing because the crowd there is too much. I don't know how to talk. I don't know how to express myself. Well, it is time to express yourself because it's only when you know how to close deals. It's only when you know how to talk, how to convince people, how to show some level of confidence. That's when success will be closer to your reach. Number 11, the other people's opinion ego. Let me ask you something. Do you always care about what people think about you? Do you always care how people perceive you? Deep down within you, you know that what you are about to do is actually the right thing. You are convinced, but you are always scared. You are always worried over what people will think about you. Let's say you want to start up a YouTube channel. You want to embark on a journey. You want to begin a project. You want to start up a business. But you're always scared what will your parents think about you? What will friends say about you? Your friends are going to mock you or something of that sort. You're always worried about what people will say. But let me tell you something. People will always say something. No matter how good you are, no matter how bad you are, no matter how in between you are, people will not stop talking. So today, stop worrying about what people will say and do the right things. Haters, critics, trolls will always have something to say. But the most important thing is to keep doing what you feel is right. If you're one of those who always bother about what people will say, then just maybe that is what is holding you back. Number 12, the do-it-yourself ego. You see, the do-it-yourself ego always says, well, if you want to have something done, then you have to do it yourself. You see, well, nobody can do it better than I can do it. You see, I don't trust him. I don't trust her. The do-yourself ego will always tell you to do things yourself. But the truth of the matter is just that the do-yourself ego is one of those egos that actually hold a whole lot of persons back. For any meaningful achievement to come, for any development to come, there must be teamwork. Two persons must come together. That's why in the society today, a whole lot of successful men, the top successful men in the world, they have partners. They have people they are doing business with. You get, this particular ego has actually held so many entrepreneurs back, so many businessmen behind. It has kept so many people behind. So do it yourself ego is not the right mentality if you must be successful in life. Number 13, the judgmental ego. Let's say, for instance, you're walking down the road and all of a sudden you heard the sound vroom, 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 and all of a sudden a Ferrari drove past vroom. What would be your first thoughts? Comment below. What would be your first thought? No filter, no edit, just comment below. My guess is chances are you say, who does he think he is? Such a cocky person, such an idiot, such a selfish person, such a greedy person. If it happens to be this part of Africa I came from, they say, oh, that person is such a ritualist. He's a fraudster. Maybe he killed his mother to actually acquire that car. If it happens to be a lady, you say that person is a prostitute. Or probably he or she is a call girl. Or probably he or she is an escort. She's been sleeping around to have achieved that thing. How did you know? How did you know? Do you know if this person has actually been putting in years of hard work, maybe 20 years or 30 years, before he or she can actually attain that level? You just want to judge people. Let me tell you something. You can never be successful if you judge people in that manner. You can never get rich if you keep judging people in that way, because a whole lot of people struggle before they get to the position they are today. So, up to this point, how many of these 13 egos that prevent people from becoming successful, from getting rich, do you have? Comment down below. And if you claim you don't have any, that's probably the biggest ego I have ever seen. And if you've watched up to this particular point, that means you were actually freed. Why not consider to click on the subscribe button below, and do not forget to give my video a thumbs up, as it's going to help with the YouTube algorithm. And until then, do have a splendid week ahead of you. I wish you all the best in your endeavors, in your business, in whatever thing you do. Peace, like always.